guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is a review on the breast pump that I use, which was the Medela Harmony pump. They do carry quite a few different breast pumps. I would say they are like the experts in breastfeeding your baby, and they do have electric ones and one for each side. If you wanted to do duo, I don't know. I bought this one just because I wasn't sure how breastfeeding was gonna go. I was nervous about buying it though because Medela did advertise that it was like an occasional breast pump. However, I use this entirely and I did not find it to be anything but a day-to-day use. So I would use this like 6 times a day and I loved it. We have 2 Calma nipples, which I would recommend getting 2. I believe one of them came with my pump and one we got separately. We did have an issue with one of them because I think what happened was a bit of formula got into it. I don't know what happened, but some of the time it would just not flow nicely. I didn't try any other nipples, but what I liked about it was that you could hold it upside down with milk in it and it wouldn't pour out. It would only come as the child sucked, which was really nice. So I only bought these 5-ounce bottles. I had 3 of them and I thought 3 was perfect. 3 bottles, 2 nipples is kind of what I would recommend. Medela does carry another size bottle, but I didn't find that to be necessary. The handle is quite ergonomic here, as well as when you're holding it on you where your thumb goes underneath was really nice and comfortable. I asked a few friends of mine before Dayton was born and I said, what are some things that you recommend? And someone told me a Medela breast pump 100%. And I just trusted her and went with it because I knew that Medela was like the apple, like the best of breast pumps and breastfeeding your child, and I totally do agree with that statement. I believe they're from the UK and they are just phenomenal. The milk can collect directly into the bottle, which is nice. You don't need to pump into anything else. You can pump directly into the bottle, unscrew this, and then give it to baby right away. Super easy to use, so I really like that. What was hard was this was kind of the pump on its own, so there wasn't any way of you really caring for it or storing it. I know electric pumps can sometimes come with cases and ways to put things away. I feel like this could just be the breast pumps though. This is kind of just as good as it got. Like I wasn't able to store it anywhere. Zach and I did go away when Dayton was 3 or 4 weeks old. I had to carry the pump like this. What was really nice about having the Harmony pump was mainly just that it was really easy to use. I could pump wherever I wanted, so when Zach and I were out and about or driving around, I could honestly just pump in the car, and I did that so often. I would be driving and I would just go ahead and pump. There were a few times that I was just driving and Zach was driving and I was pumping in the passenger seat, which was really convenient while Dayton slept in the back, so as soon as we got to our destination I could give him a fresh bottle of milk. It did seem to take forever when I was pumping, and I was like, is this because I have a manual pump? But I think it just takes a while. At night, I would breastfeed Dayton, and then for his dream feed, I would go in with a bottle. I wouldn't wake him and breastfeed him. What I would do is I would pump 2 bottles, and I'd put 1 bottle in the fridge and then later in the freezer, and I would put another bottle with a nipple and give it to him right away and dream feed it to him. I don't know if it just felt forever because it was the middle of the night, whether it was just that I was ready for bed or that I was getting 2 bottles or what. It would only take me about 15 minutes, so even at that it wasn't very time consuming. At first I wasn't sure whether or not I needed an electric one or one for both sides, but I did find that this was sufficient. I did have a few friends that had electric ones and I asked them and I said, so how did you like it? They're like, oh yeah, I can pump all the time and it's easy because their hands are free. They had to be near an outlet because it had to be on, so they'd have to have it charging and it had to be in particular areas, and they had all of these extra parts that were needed. Like my whole pump is only a few parts. There was never a time where I was like, yeah, you know what, I could do some chores and pump at the same time. And I did find that the customer service was great. What happened one time was when before Dayton was born, I took off this top part here to clean it, and I don't recommend doing this. This part comes off and this is just the empty handle, and this part here at the very end of this tip is what attaches to the pump. What happened was, when I put this back onto the handle, I definitely noticed quality of the suction went down. So I contacted Medela. I don't know what's going on, but something's wrong. One of my nipples is not flowing properly anymore. Dayton is not able to get any milk. As well with this pump, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden the suction sucks. And they were so responsive. It took me 3 days, which felt like a long time, but they sent me free O-rings, which was amazing. It did get tiring pumping, but my hand never cramped up, my fingers never hurt or anything, but you're doing this for 15 minutes. And of course you'd be like, oh, almost done, but it's like, no, you're done when the milk is done. Like when you have the milk you need, you're not done when there's a time limit. If you can't do this after 10-15 minutes, don't get this one. But I did tell my girlfriend that had the electric one how convenient this was, and she went out and bought it. So even having an electric one, and she had one for, I think it was both sides, she still went out and bought this one because it was so convenient to have. No wires, no tubes, not anything charged, nothing plugged in. It was just really convenient, really easy. Just think about where you're going to be pumping. Even when I would be out with Zach, I would just like throw on my nursing cover and put this on and just pump. I could be anywhere. I pumped in some of the craziest places. I pumped at my aunt and uncle's house, I pumped at a restaurant, I pumped in the car, I pumped every room of the house. Like I didn't have to take anything and move it around with me. Nipple shield that it came with was great. It is 24 millimeters. When you're trying to travel with this or go anywhere with it, like out for the day or anything, like this is your whole pump. So it's kind of like what I'm supposed to do with this. So I just keep it in its own bag. I don't know how they could have improved this technology or like come up with somewhere for it to be that was like chilled or something so that the milk wouldn't dry to this, or it like would stay sealed. I don't know, because your milk is just kind of everywhere, right? So there's no safe place to put this really than upside down. But other than that, when you take off the handle and you take off the valve, which you want to be careful when you put it on because this can get stuck. And then I didn't remove this valve or this little membrane often because I knew that it was really delicate, because in the box they did send me a few other ones, so I just would do it I think twice a day, 3 times a day to wash it. This thing is the hardest thing to clean. What happens is like there's an opening, and then this part that's yellow, it's like a little square opening on the front here where the nipple shield goes, like this, and it's kind of like you can't really clean from in the yellow part down into here. If you are pumping and you're ever like, what's wrong, something seems like it's off, the thing I would check would be how your breast is fitting into the shields, and second would be this. So if there is a problem with how you're pumping, it could be that this silicone piece is not on your handle. This here is the entire breast pump apparatus, and I'll just take it all apart for you and show you guys. Hand pump, nipple shield, valve, or I guess gasket, valve, membrane, and this is like the main body, so it all attaches together. But yeah, I'll put it all back together and then we're all done. So the shield goes on, the handle goes on, and then the valve and the little membrane or little piece just goes in here. These are the Calma nipples. They are so nice. Baby controls it, and it's meant to replicate a breast. Dayton was very happy with these, and so was I. Just so nice knowing that if he was getting a bottle, he's getting the closest thing to the breast. Obviously I need to wash this one again. These are the 3 bottles that I have. I got them all in 5 ounces. This fun little gadget, I'm not sure what it's called. It's by Boone. This is what I use to clean my bottles. So this part goes into the bottle, and then at the end here, this is what you use to clean out the nipple. Very smart. And it's so cute. I used to love leaving it at my sink. If there's anything you have questions on, or anything that you'd like to share, or you want me to review, just let me know in the comments. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my channel. I hope that this enlightened you in your search. Have a great day.